What's up, guys? It's the Farooqi Brothers back with another Built Different stream. Today for you guys, we got a pretty packed show, but we're going to be leading with a debate on Superman, on the future of Superman on film. So I think it's going to be a pretty good one. And let's just, get right into it. Like why even waste time? So let's. So the first thing is the latest news actually dropped yesterday, 2 days ago, rather, on a Friday afternoon. Michael B. Jordan is developing a Superman limited series for HBO Max, which is going to focus on Val-Zod. And he may, this is according to Collider, he may star in the project as well as Val. So the quick background on this is that Michael B. Jordan, for maybe 3-4 years now, has been saying that, well, his name has always been attached to Superman one way or another. Warner Brothers was interested in him to play the character after Henry Cavill. But Jordan, anytime he was asked about it, and particularly one interview with Oprah, he said that if I was going to play Superman, I don't want to play Kal-El. I don't want to play Clark Kent because this is an established hero, and I want to do something with a new iteration of Superman. And he himself brought up in that interview Calvin Ellis, and then later on he brought up Val-Zod. Val-Zod is obviously an alternate universe of Superman. I'm going to give a quick look at his design. Earth 2 Superman, for those of you guys know from the comics. And he has a little bit of a distinctual backstory, a little bit of different past, and he can be used in a different way because when you're bringing him to film, it's quite literally a fresh start. And then probably a thing that most fans might think about, he can and does coexist with Kal-El, as the main Superman, right? And what the reason this became kind of a debate on the social sphere, and one of the questions said, will this be in the DCEU? I'm going to actually get to that. But one of the things that caused a debate was that, listen, now there's 2 Superman projects being developed simultaneously, one for HBO Max as a series and one for obviously cinema, and then of course you have the CW version as well. So quite literally there are 3 concurrent Superman projects happening at the same time, with 2 of them being in very early developments. As you know, we've debated this a few times already with Ta-Nehisi Coates and the script he's developing for the next Superman, which is rumored to be a black iteration of Clark Kent, of Kal-El. And now this is about Val-Zod. So 2 different sides of the Superman coin are being explored. But the question I have for you guys is, what did you think about the news? And we'll go through a slope because there's actually a couple of layers to this. But number one, what did you think about the news and the concept of Jordan playing Val-Zod? Does that intrigue you? And Zion, you can go first.
I mean, like you said, he's been kind of campaigning and championing for something to do with this role, to do with the Black Superman. And now that he finally is at the helm of it, I think that's great. All the people who've been hearing it about his fight for this Black Superman, they've been supporting him along the way, and now it's happening. Is a pretty exciting thing. And if he plays Superman, that's going to be even more exciting. But as of right now, like, he's just ahead of the project. But as far as just the overall scope of it, it is surprising that they announced a secondary Black Superman, but for HBO Max, when we've already know they have something in development for film with J.J. Abrams producing and Ta-Nehisi Coates, like I said, is going to be writing the film. So you wonder where they are in their headspace as far as where they want to take this character. And like in the comments, you mentioned that is a part of the DCEU. That's also it's also something to consider, because now they're like, okay, is Henry Cavill still going to be the background Nick Fury-esque whatever Superman, just to pop him in cameos? But if that's the case, that would make it seem like there'd be 3 simultaneous Superman that are all completely disconnected, which is like, okay, what are you trying to do with this character? What is the purpose of all these different Superman stories? It's not out of the question that multiple versions can coexist. We're seeing with Batman right now, with Robert Pattinson doing his separate incarnation of the character, and then you have Ben Affleck and Michael Keaton, who will now kind of replace Ben Affleck in that role for the DCEU. So it's not necessarily surprising that, okay, there's multiple versions, just that how many versions are you willing to do? Is one of them going to be the replacement for Henry Cavill in like this new post Flashpoint DC universe. Maybe the Black Superman will be the new Superman, the Ta-Nehisi Coates one on film. Maybe that'll be the new Superman for the films. And now there's J.J. Abrams, not J.J. Abrams, for the Michael B. Jordan one will be like the separate standalone project that just explores Val-Zod's character and just create a new story for people to enjoy. I guess those are the big questions that we'll have to just wait and see to find out where they go with it.
Yeah, I mean, you brought some good points. Number one, about how does it fit in the DCU and how, at this point, we're seeing basically 3 Supermen in various situations, a 4th if you include Henry Cavill, if he still has a role in this universe or not. And where do all these pieces fit in? And we mentioned about Ta-Nehisi Coates, and the last time we heard about that project from the Hollywood Reporter, and we discussed that a couple of weeks ago, maybe it's a month ago now, that Superman movie is completely separate in its own universe. Akin to Matt Reeves' The Batman. In fact, it's not even compared to Matt Reeves' The Batman. Like, it's his own movie being developed as a one-shot Superman movie. Whereas this Val-Zod project, again, hard to tell, but it's going straight to HBO Max, and it's going to be a series. So what are they trying to do with it? We saw how well the series approach worked for Loki, and it worked for WandaVision, and even to a lesser degree, it worked for Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So, Umar, my question to you is, number one, what was your reaction? But number two, do you think the fact that this is going to be a limited series make you feel better? Like this might be a better project than even the cinematic version they're working on the other side of the pond?
Yeah, I think they have more, like we've seen with limited series, they have more room to kind of like flesh out the character and also the other characters that are around the main character. And I do think that is where you could do pretty interesting things, and you can do things that obviously in a 2-hour version of a Superman movie, which by itself even does probably struggle, but like the limited series just allows you more room to do things, and so I think that's cool. I do think that having like multiple projects like this, I do think it's a bit different from the Batman or the Spider-Man, because the Batman or the Spider-Man, you could literally put out anything and people will love it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there isn't a lot you could do wrong with that. If people can like Far From Home, that shows you that they can like anything with Spider-Man in it. So, same with the Batman. And so I don't think Superman is like that, actually. I think Superman, I think history tells us that Superman's the complete opposite. There's a version of the character, right, that is still very much dominant, and you can tell that even Warner Brothers wants like a Christopher Reeves-esque type thing. Although I do think that it would be a mistake to do something to try to reinvent that with a black, actor. Like I don't think that's like. I think like Michael B. Jordan said, he wants to do something fresh, and I think if that's what they're allowing him to do, and that follows throughout the whole project, I do think that it could be awesome to see. So that my reaction is that it's cool, it's interesting, but need to see more.
Yeah, and there's a comment from Rodney. He said that hope the budget is in mid-level with it being HBO Max and not having JJ involved. And I think that's actually a big thing. Well,
yeah, on that front, like with Superman, you do need the CGI. The VFX has to be good. Like you can't. It's the way the character is. Like he's fake. Like you have to like make sure that the money is.
And we saw when, even though I'll give credit to putting a lot more budget into Superman and Lois, what we've seen in the past, like with Supergirl in particular, where she's dealing with the micro budget, and then when Superman does show up and those CGI scenes happen, it ends up looking like a PS2 game. And that's not what you want if you're doing HBO Max. You want a little better quality. It's not to say a lot of times TV shows, there'll be times where it's going to look a little CGI. Like Loki out there looks pretty good overall, but even sometimes in these Marvel shows, you'll see like there's a hiccup in VFX when you're going this route. So definitely, I think if you're going HBO Max, you gotta up the budget. But it remains to be seen.
If they want to do Goodbye Shroud, they should make the whole thing orange, right, Samir? They want to do Goodbye Shroud, make the whole thing orange like Superman Lois. Shroud would love it. They'll be like, "Yo, it's the greatest CGI ever." You're muted.
It's still muted.
Still muted. Okay. Now that you mentioned Samir, I'm gonna actually jump to him because, well, Samir, let's just say for the last maybe 4 or 5 years, you've been on this train. You've been saying Michael B. Jordan as Superman would work. And when we talked about a couple of months ago for the Ta-Nehisi Coates project, when Michael B. Jordan said, "I'm not interested in playing Superman for that movie," am I still muted, or are you laughing?
I'm laughing
Yeah,
because I'm like, when did Samir ever say this?
he did. You must have forgotten.
Nah,
He was telling me.
he's been on that for
I posted
years
on
now.
Vero and everything. I don't know where you been.
Yeah, he's been on that for like at least 4 years, at least, while the Michael B. Jordan bandwagon. But now that it's happening, right? In a sense, he's not starring yet, but he's saying he might star. For now, he's producing. How does that make you feel that he's making his own project? And if it was your choice, would you have consolidated the two projects and have the live action version be Val-Zod? Or are you okay with let's just do two separate things and let Michael B. Jordan, really kind of put his creative vision on HBO Max?
I'm excited to see what Michael B. Jordan has in store with Val-Zod. I think I would have preferred Val-Zod as over the other movie they're developing. But I think the more DC content that's being announced or brought to light, the more confusing the whole universe as a whole gets, especially to like mainstream audiences. Even when you count the disparities between what they're showing on HBO Max and what they have in store for theatrical releases, I think it's all confusing. But for this HBO Max series, I'm still excited. I still want to see it.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a couple of art renditions actually on thumbnail, but I'll bring it up. One was from George Jimenez. He's a comic book writer for DC in the middle, and he did a rendition of it back in June, which I feel like these are some, and obviously we know Dratini is also good. Trinity is really good as well. So a couple of looks there at how he would look like. I mean, design-wise, I think acting-wise, you can't get a better actor than Michael B. Jordan to kind of, especially someone who's committed to the project, and he's not only potentially starring, but he's producing. I think it's very important that he's producing because he said so many times how he's very passionate about Superman as a character, but by him producing it, this shows that he's putting his own vision. And we've seen that when he puts his own vision to something, it usually ends up being pretty damn good. I mean, what was he, the best part of Space Jam 2? So, but
Also, just I think on the debate of should it be on film, should it be HBO Max, I think the fact that they're letting him do on HBO Max is better for his vision and what he wants to do with the character, because I feel like on film there'll be so much pressure to like get him right, because as far as like the studio is concerned, the Henry Cavill Superman era was completely wrong and didn't work. Like that's why they fought against it so much. So even though Ta-Nehisi Coates and J.J. Abrams producing, they will have a lot of control. There'll still be a lot of hands and a lot of people involved to try to make sure it works. But on HBO Max, I feel like they'll be more willing to give him the freedom he wants, and on like a limited series format, you can, like when we said, you can flesh out other characters better and just have more control of like the stuff you want to show in the stories you want to tell with the character that maybe on film with the time constraint would not have been possible.
I want to stay on this topic for a little longer, but segue into this like subtopic that Bat John added. He said, "Will this be in the DCEU?" So Umar, I'm going to give this one to you. I mean, number one, do you think it's going to be part of the wider DCEU that they're building out now with like Hamada's vision, or is this going to be its one-off again on HBO Max? It's hard to tell because we're going to get this in the next topic, which is about Batgirl, about what's part of the canon and what's not. But do you think this Val-Zod is part of the universe that started with Man of Steel, or is this something that's going to come out of nowhere? Again, very early to tell, but what's your instinct telling you? Because we know the other movie, the official movie that's coming out, that's not part of the DCU. But this one, what do you think?
I don't know actually. I think they're kind of or not hedging their bets. They're actually doing the opposite. They're showing a type of insecurity with, because you would think that Supergirl would probably, the reason they put Supergirl in the film is the reason why they would. Sorry, give me a second. It's loud in my house. But yeah, putting Supergirl in the Flash, right? You would think that is the replacement. Okay, and I feel like they don't fully. They're not fully kind of like. They're not all in on that. I don't think they're gonna see like how the general audiences take it. And I think that the Michael B. Jordan movie, depending on the performance that we get in the Flash, and if people actually react well to that, I think that will actually ultimately make the difference on whether they want to bridge in a new Superman like Michael B. Jordan Superman. But I also think it's dumb in one sense, because you would think that it would be smarter for them to actually give him a live action film if that were the case. Like if you did want to bridge him in, like it would have just made more sense to give him a live action So like even though I agree with Zion and also what I said before about like it's better for the actual project, but that also depends on what the project is, like what Michael B. Jordan wants to do and like what directors that he gets and what that vision even looks like, right? Because what if we don't know, like what if he wanted to do a live action but they're pushing him towards an HBO thing to get subscribers on that front, so we don't know, right? I also find it quite interesting that Ray Fisher tweeted about Walter Hamada, and then we get like it seems like every time he tweets about him we get some big announcement about something. So I don't know, there's a part of me that, and what they're being accused of is like, basically
It's palpable. Yeah,
workplace
it's still there.
So it's not like I don't think it's a coincidence. I don't.
Yeah, I'm on the fence on that. Like in terms of, like, are they sitting there with articles in the chamber and they're like, we're gonna announce this the second Ray Fisher tweets? I'm not necessarily sure that's what they're doing. I think they have some things in the plate, because remember, Michael B. Jordan, someone they've been courting to be Superman for since 2018, and even earlier, maybe they've been trying to get this guy to be Superman, and finally I think they're giving him, hey, just do what you want. I'm not sure if they did that deliberately with, hey, this is gonna get Ray Fisher angry or something. I'm not sure that's the mindset.
It's not really get back Ray Fisher. It's more that it's not out of the question as like a company, that they're pushing all these like black led or female led or person of color led superheroes and putting them in these roles, almost as PR spin, like to make themselves look like, oh yeah, we're a very progressive, very forward thinking company. We want representation as a way to offset some of like the bad looks that have come their way these past couple of months in this last year. I don't put it, it's not out of the question though. Yeah. But like you said, a lot of these deals, a lot of these discussions have been taking place for a while, and then just happen to be that now they're finally coming to light.
Yeah, I think it's more about the fact that like when something is said, it takes away like like news, the way like news works, like when you have stuff that's coming out, right, and you have an actor that's tweeting at the studio, and really like he has names, right? He's not like going after like just the studio, WB. He's saying the names. He's going after specific people, and so when that happens, to drown out that voice, sometimes it's not only is it not out of the question, they've done this in the past. It's not like this is something they've done. Like it's something any company does. Most companies do that now when they wanna.
Yeah, I do wonder how much Warner Brothers as like a corporation. Remember, like sometimes I know we, in the interest of how we cover things, it's very easy to build straw man up. So it's like, okay, Warner Brothers is multi-billion-dollar company, has the evil emperor Toby sitting there, and then Walter Hamada is like his right-hand man, when in reality that's not how a studio works. And it's not like there's one big villain who's just standing on top of his tower and he's like, I'm creating all this just to stop bad PR. It's multiple wheels are moving. There's multiple machines that are in the cog of what Warner Brothers is. So while yes, Walter Hamada is the one who's kind of overseeing DC, I don't 100% think that he's like one by one thinking like, because Ray Fisher said this, we must do this, because it's kind of the way things are moving anyways, as you see what more Marvel's doing with Captain America, what they're doing with other characters in their arsenal. It seems like that's the kind of the way things are moving. But Samir, to get back to the question like that we have here on the screen, do you want this to be part of the main DCEU, or do you want this to be its own one-off Val-Zod kind of miniseries?
I think even the big films that they have announced aren't even going to be part. Some of them aren't even going to be part of the DCEU. So I doubt that this limited series will be a part of it. I think they're just doing it to compete with Marvel's limited series. I don't think it'll be connected. Even though Marvel's doing a good job connecting their limited series with the bigger MCU. I guess it would be nice to see them try to bring it all together, but I doubt it will be.
Yeah, I mean, Zian, what do you think? Someone said that LeBron should be the next Superman actor. I mean, after his role in Space Jam, I mean, is that the next role you want to give LeBron? Like, just be Superman now?
I mean, he could do like a Henry Cavill role, or he has the physique, but like make sure he doesn't say a single line in the movie, because he can't act. Yeah, he's built for it. He is.
And Sean said multiple times, you don't need to be a good actor.
to be Superman. Yeah,
Yeah.
you
It's
don't.
built
You
different.
don't.
Than he is,
You need to be a good actor to play Batman. You don't have to be an excellent actor to play Superman. You just have to have the physique and just say a couple of lines. But Umar, I mean, I said actually a couple of months ago, I said LeBron could be a candidate for Superman. I don't know what you think. After Space Jam 2, I mean, come on.
he could do it, but like Zion like stole what probably any of us would say, which is that he can't say anything. He just has
So
to.
I mean, look at this. If LeBron has the beard, I mean, he could kind of become this version of Val-Zod.
He doesn't have that hairline.
That's true, but
No, but they're like CGI'd on. Like they did in Space Jam. Like you have the post production do stuff.
yeah. Let me see what other comments we have. So I mean, Robotic Uzi as the car and how he said LeBron's the worst actor ever. So, do you hear that? How loud is that for you guys?
Why did he at Uzi? Why did you at Bruce
Because
Wayne?
Bruce Wayne was the guy who commented here. Yeah.
Oh God. Okay.
But yeah, we have
Yeah, it's confusing. It's confusing because like, what are they trying to do? It's like they're just They're just trying everything basically at this point and seeing what works because like they clearly don't have some kind of direction in mind if they're approving so many of the same character, from Supergirl to Henry Cavill's and like Stasis to the film Superman to HBO Max Superman. Is like, do they even know what they're doing, or they're just trying anything?
They're gonna crash. I actually think they're gonna crash and burn, man. I just don't see like a lot of these projects. I don't know. Maybe the Superman, the live action one. I feel like my prediction, right? If I was to predict what's gonna happen, right? I think that I think the Flash is gonna be bad. I think it'll be bad. I think it's gonna crash and burn.
Or your internet's like crashing and burning too.
Right now?
I think your internet's crashing and burning too, so I don't know. All right, we're gonna move on to rumor. Our boy Rhyme Slim, he said that I really hope Michael B. Jordan plays Val-Zod as well. He's been trying to get a Calvin Ellis or Val-Zod movie. It's just amazing that Val-Zod is being adapted for live action, considering the journey he goes on. And I agree with that also. I think just the aspect of seeing Val-Zod, a lot of people were thinking this was a debate that was happening in the first Superman movie announcement when they were like, should you change the race of Clark Kent, or should you let me just get Umar back in, or should you let a new Superman kind of show what he can do, his potential. It's kind of like a Miles Morales situation where I think Val-Zod might end up becoming extremely popular at release, and there might be aspects of the character, especially his like pacifist personality, that might really kind of be appealing to audiences. I think it's gonna be very interesting to see how that goes. But yeah, he's a good character, and he's different from Kal-El. So it's not like you're just getting Clark Kent, the journalist, and now he's just being played by a black actor. Val-Zod's a complete different character, and it's gonna be very interesting to see where Michael takes him with this one. But do you want lightsabers in the CW? They have lightsabers in CW. Samir, do you want to see Superman fight with a lightsaber?
I have no idea what was happening in that CW clip that you sent with Godspeed with the dual saber, then Kid Flash.
Yeah, it was Umar's favorite scene, but he secretly watches every episode.
Hell no. CW is the worst.
Do you not want lightsabers in Superman? I don't mind, honestly, if it's done correctly.
Wasn't there like a picture of like Henry Cavill with like a hood holding a lightsaber, as Superman, like something Zack Snyder put up or something?
Yeah, that was before. Yeah, that's when they were shooting BVS. When Force Awakens was coming out, right in the middle of that.
Good times.
Yeah. I spoiled it for him the way Michael B. Jordan in Space Jam 2. Yeah, he has a little small moment, but now it's been so many weeks that I'm sorry for spoiling you. But yeah,
his small moment was like the best scene in the whole movie.
The best scene in the movie. Yeah. I'll rhyme, like, obviously his name is Michael Jordan, so Michael Jordan's the main.
You could see where they went with the joke,
Don't spoil it more than you already have.
Yeah.
Why are you telling him about the scene? Why are you telling him about the scene? Like,
I'm just explaining. Like,
you don't have to explain the scene. You're spoiling even more for him.
I was not explaining the scene. I was explaining like the context of if you put Michael Jordan in a movie where Michael Jordan was the main.
That was the whole scene. That was the whole joke. Explain the joke. All right.
Yeah. Well, Space Jam 2 is a travesty. So one quick one for Umar as we kind of segue out of this topic. But do you think Henry Cavill replaced after Flash or not?
I think they're just not gonna ever tell us. I think that's what's gonna happen.
Just forever. I'm convinced he's gonna show up in either Shazam or
Why are you
The
convinced,
Flash or
Ross?
Black.
Tell us why are you convinced?
Because I feel like this is Danny Garcia's last play. Like it's the last play she has in the hat, and they've been trying to tease this since like 2015 with The Rock and Henry Cavill sitting next to each other. I think if anything, The Rock will force it. Like, dude, put this guy in one of these two movies. Like, and I don't know. Michael B. Jordan isn't in Space Jam 2. All right, I guess he isn't. If LeBron becomes Val-Zod, I'm gonna cry. I mean, so is Jan, but
I mean, Umar will also cry, but he'll cry tears of joy. He's the opposite.
you know, I think to pull it off maybe.
I think me and Shaz have like convinced ourselves because we're cultists for LeBron that somehow this would be a good idea. It wouldn't, obviously.
Physically, he could play Superman. That's all I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, physically, Shaz. Physically,
you wouldn't need
he could
padding.
play Superman.
No, that's not how it is. You don't need padding. You know, like he could fit the costume basically.
If they're bringing Shaq back for Steel, I'm down for it.
Shaq as Superman, yeah. Is
He's actually a
Superman
better
a
actor
video
than
game?
LeBron, easily.
All right. Robotics says Shroud, it ain't happening. You know, so I guess we'll take you at face value on that. It ain't happening. But what else I have in the pipeline? I have a couple of things in the pipeline. All right, let's do this one quick, and then I'm gonna move to a couple of funny stuff. So we were talking about the DC, we were talking about HBO Max because Leslie Grace got cast as Barbara Gordon as Batgirl for the Batgirl movie, which will be an exclusive. This Batgirl movie won't be coming to theaters. It'll just be coming exclusively to HBO Max, right? So now you have another kind of, you have a woman of color playing someone from the Dominican. She was in The Heights, the movie that was pretty popular, and she right quickly after that got this role. But question is, once again, what universe is she from, if any, right? Is she going to be part of this next phase where remember when the Michael Keaton casting happened, they said that he's going to be adopting a Nick Fury role also. I know that's WB's favorite thing to say, that someone's adopting Nick Fury role, but they're saying that Michael Keaton's going to be like this old Bruce Wayne who's going to mentor all these young heroes. And one of the heroes that I think it was the Hollywood Reporter that said this, one of the heroes that Batman will mentor will be Batgirl. Will it be this Batgirl is the question, because now you can't really take anything at face value with what DC is going with. But Ziana, as a resident Bat Family fan, what do you think this Batgirl movie, an HBO Max exclusive, going to be part of the DCEU or its own separate thing?
I think it would be the dumbest move on Warner Brothers' part to make it separate. Like, this is perfect. Now that you have an older Batman, a more veteran Batman, you throw Batgirl in as the new main Bat character, like on the field, like as opposed to like, let's say people think that, oh, you could throw in a Batman Beyond or Terry McGinnis to like take that role and then have Michael Keaton's Batman be like the older general, like on the background who's guiding them. Now you have this Batgirl, you can put them together, and now you have Supergirl as well. So we all know Supergirl and Batgirl, they always go together as their own world's finest set. So you can have that, and there's so much potential there as well. So I feel like it would just be a no-brainer to now have her be in the DCU, maybe something in, obviously won't address it in the movie itself, but like you can tie it into the Flashman and okay, yeah, now Batgirl exists in this universe and she is now like doing stuff. She's in her prime. She's doing whatever Bat stuff, you know, saving Gotham, whatever. So having her be part of that is like the smart move, in my opinion, just for the potential of where you can go with the characters and just the universe itself. And being separate, I would think it would just be a waste for the character and for what they can do with her.
Omar Zian said it'd be a smart move to put her in the universe, but is the studio smart? That's my question to you.
Studio is stupid as hell. Like, why would you? I don't understand this obsession with trying to be like the MCU. Where Michael Keaton got Michael Keaton here. Basically, he's gonna be the next Nick Fury. He's gonna tell all these little minions what to do and send them on the field. It's so stupid. Just do your own thing for once. God, I hate it. That's it.
Who in the MCU is sending people out to do things? Like, I'm trying to think who was the same role. Nick Fury, like in Phase 1?
Fury.
All right. I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
He's not going to be like Nick Fury. It's like Batman and Batman Beyond. Bruce Wayne and Batman Beyond did it first. And like That's what the model has to be for
Batman
the new
Beyond
Bruce Wayne.
did it first, everyone. Stop. All right, they try and be like the MCU, and it's not working out. And it's not gonna work out. Watch, Michael Keaton's like 80 years old. No one cares. Literally, no one cares. So I guess we'll see. We'll see in the Flash.
You didn't even answer the question.
Sorry, what was your question? I was too busy being.
Do you want Batgirl to be part of the DCU or want her to be separate?
I think if she was separate, the movie would be better, but it would be cool to have her in there too.
All right, now I'm going to throw a curveball. What if this Batgirl should be in Pattinson's universe? Then what?
See, that doesn't quite work because he's very young. He's very young Batman. So there, I would say I would stick with Zion because they got a veteran Batman. It would work out more. So yeah, like Batman's too young. I would rather he do his own thing for a little while and then maybe.
I was thinking because she's a mixed woman of color, and then Gordon, who her dad would be, is already like a black actress playing him. So I think if they wanted to like bridge that, they could. But maybe
that would be the dumbest thing to put in Pattinson Reeves' universe. Like keep that separate as far away from everything else that that Warner Bros. Is trying to do.
No one should.
So do you think? All right. So is her dad going to be J.K. Simmons Gordon?
You can just recast him with Flashpoint. They can do anything at this point. Who cares?
I guess they will recast him.
Really erasing.
In fact, they are. No, I'm not. This is actually now. We can get out of joke mode and go to reporting mode. It actually was reported that they're looking to recast Commissioner Gordon for that movie. So there'll be a different person playing Gordon for that movie. So who knows who they're gonna pick?
So this is the first movie of this universe. Let's just call it what it is.
Maybe, yeah, maybe. Oh, the first movie is gonna be Flash, but yeah,
that's kind of dumb. But all right.
Yeah. Well, speaking of dumb, David Goyer kind of had a good segue, right? David Goyer had a interview with the Hollywood Reporter where he was asked a bunch of stuff, but one of the things he was asked was, "What was the stupidest thing that the studio ever told you?" And he said when they were making Man of Steel, Warner Brothers told him that, listen, you know that scene where Superman crashes his own pod into Zod's ship to like bring it down, what was he using it for? Yeah, so to destroy the World Engine, right? So Warner Brothers, the note they gave back to David Goyer and Zack and Christopher Nolan was, don't do that because how is Superman going to go back to Krypton? So, I mean, Samir,
it's also
as someone who defends the studio, as someone who loves the studio, I mean, what do you make of this?
Charles, you love the studio, okay? Relax.
No.
Charles was all up in the studio when Space Jam came out, but now he's just switching up, bro. I don't know what he's talking about. But this, I've never
switched up. Dumb. Never. Yeah.
Trust Dave switching up, but I've never heard something so dumb in my life. It makes sense.
In my life. Yeah,
this is the difference between Marvel and Warner Brothers. Marvel is run by like people who actually know the characters, who are fans of the characters. Warner Brothers is run by just like blockhead businessmen who don't know anything really. Like they only care about the numbers, and obviously that's important. And Marvel does as well, but at least you have people in charge who know the characters and know what's going on, at least to some degree. They don't know anything.
Yeah, and it's not on the what?
The way the slate is looking, it makes sense that someone would say this.
Well, this was like very early. Like if you think about when they had this meeting, they said that Dark Knight Rises didn't come out yet. So Dark Knight Rises
has anything really changed?
The difference was that Christopher Nolan gave like a trust me, bro, to Warner Brothers on that. Like they told him like when they were saying that. Well, I didn't put this in the description, but David Goyer's response was, "You just saw the movie. The first 30 minutes, Krypton exploded." Like they didn't understand something very simple. I don't know.
They're probably so. Let me just move one thing for Umar goes. They're probably so dumb because in Superman Returns, which was the last Superman movie, the plot was that he like sent something like or whatever that Krypton was there, so he went back on the ship to see what was there. That's part of the plot of the movie, right? So they probably thought, it's the same thing. So how is he gonna go back? They probably thought Krypton was back again. They didn't know anything. They probably didn't even know something new.
Yeah, I take it back because I made one mistake when I was saying I said they were showing this during the Dark Knight Rises. This is after they shot the movie. They were testing it to the executives before release. So the movie was shot. They saw the entire movie and they're like, "This has to change because how is he gonna go back home?"
Minutes, though. They saw the first
30
minutes, right?
But they also knew the end of the script, so they were like, "Yo, what is this? Like, takes out."
Yeah, this is dumb.
So I don't know who was running
Also,
the ship
can't
at that
Superman
point.
just fly in space? Superman can fly in space.
What? Yeah, he can fly in space, but he's not gonna fly out to Krypton. Like I don't think he can do that. I've never seen I mean,
He
yeah,
can.
let's start in Silver Age. Yeah, he can do it, but he can't go that far. And then, I mean, this makes no wonder they didn't understand Justice League when Zack first screened it. I think it's the same executives, you know. Actually, different, but I think this group was the Sujihara group in 2013. And then the next group was the Toby
hit
group.
the nail on the coffin, bro.
Nail on the coffin.
Don't know the characters. Coffin.
Yeah, they don't know the characters. No. Yeah.
Hit the nail on the head. There you go.
Yeah. Well, both
the
work.
block
But yeah. If it's the coffin, then it's the coffin of the DCEU. But that's all I got to say about that. But speaking of nail in the coffin, Injustice animated movie. So Injustice is getting an animated movie. I don't know what you guys think about this one, but let me show you a picture of it. So we're doing this animation style. I don't know. Like,
listen, why do you have Superman 5 o'clock shadow? Like, he doesn't even have that in the comics or the movie. In the games, I mean.
They gave him the Horus beard, Loki, but it's What do you make of this design, Samir?
I think Batman and Wonder Woman look fine. They're blurry, whatever. But Superman, I don't know, man. He looks weird.
Yeah. Umar, are you even there? I think he disappeared from sheer laughter. But I think personally, Superman and animation for now, it's not really working out for the guy. Like for now, you know. A lot of action we'll see, but it's not really working out in animation right now. So I don't know what I'm making of this specific movie, but my hot take is that Injustice is bad.
I think that's a
As a
pretty
concept.
good take, actually.
As a concept.
I mean, as a Superman,
concept.
I think most Superman fans hate it. Like, Superman's like the biggest villain. He's the worst guy. It doesn't make sense for his character either.
I'm tired of evil Superman trope every time.
So Samir, you're tired of the evil Superman trope. Umar, what do you think about the evil Superman trope?
I think it's freaking sick. I want to see more of the nightmare sequence.
Cry about it. I want to see it.
I want to see the story of Snyder Verse.
All right, so you want to see the Restore the Snyder Verse evil Superman, but you don't want to see Injustice evil Superman.
Yes, because yeah.
That's a Superman who's busy on January 6th.
Yo, why are you doing like that? Oh my god, so bad. It looks bad. It looks bad, and Injustice, the story's fine, but it's like they're overdoing it. Like, who cares now? You're like, everybody knows story. Like, but from the comics, you take it one place. Either you go to a film or a game. They did the game. Nobody needs another film. Nobody needs to keep rehashing the same boring story over and over again. Like, we've seen it, and unless, like they said for Long Halloween, they're changing the end. Like Troy Baker said, they're gonna like switch it up a little bit. Unless they do something like that to make it interesting, that'd be fine. But nobody wants to see the same thing over and over again. It's like boring as hell now. It's played out.
It's played. I don't know. Is there any other thoughts you can say about Injustice? I don't know. It's kind of dumb. I mean, someone said the only good movies this year are Justice League and A Quiet Place. I mean, that's kind of low estimation, you know, like only 2 movies.
Yeah,
and Space Jam 2 is just as bad as Snake Eyes. I haven't seen Snake Eyes, nor do I plan to. But we'll see. We'll see how that one goes. Umar, say something. Say anything.
Anything.
Anything. All right, Samir, take us home. Not take us home, but give me 2 minutes on what do you think about Dune?
Dude, it still looks so good. That's all I have to say, really.
That's all. It's just so good. Nothing else.
Yeah, it looks so good.
I think my hot take on Dune is that it might be the dark horse best. Not dark horse. Everyone thinks it's gonna be one of the best movies of the year. I think it's gonna be the best movie of the year, maybe.
Some people are clowning on like the CGI. Like, I don't think it was a big deal, but you see people online, they're clowning like that action sequence that looked like, you know, Infinity War. Yeah, where Hulk was like, his head didn't even fit in like the Hulkbuster thing. It looked kind of like that, so people were clowning on that. But I don't know, maybe that's just the trailer footage and the film itself will be much more polished.
Yeah, I mean, there's gonna be small issues here and there for sure. I mean, it's a Warner Brothers movie, but I think overall, I think it's gonna have like those few things. I think Green Knight's pretty good too.
The real fear for Dune is what people were saying on Black Widow that the theaters were complaining about, is that because of the simultaneous like streaming release, will it hurt the film like long term? I wonder if it's gonna hurt Dune. It probably will. Maybe they would have done much better in theaters, but they won't do as well because now people just opt to watch it on streaming instead. Now that division is gonna hurt. Like either do just streaming or just that, or I don't know. The conversation is changing day and day by about that whole thing.
There's been a week-to-week drop, like people are noticing between movies because it's available on streaming. That's a little concerning for theaters. We saw with Black Widow that there was about like a 60% drop in audience between week 1 and week 2. And then
I think it's obvious because people who care enough will see it the first week, and then people who don't really care that much, they'll just see it on streaming the next week or whenever.
Especially when you like see a record drop. No movie. Like no one with history has a bad drop. Watch this. Do you blame that on streaming or do you blame it on just the movie being bad?
It's probably like the people who saw the movie the first week, they told everybody they knew not to see it.
It wasn't that bad, but so we have a couple of more comments. Like Ramslim, he's like, "Yo, Dune's gonna look incredible. Dune looks amazing." Yeah, so all type of that, but yeah, Space Jam record bad drop week to week, but I don't know. We'll see how that changes as time goes along. But we're running out of topics. But okay, so I got one more, but I need Umar to be awake for it. We have to ask him because they're not asking me. Umar, are you there? Are you on camera or there's no internet? It's so bad you can't hear him. Zack Snyder signed a first look deal with Netflix right this week, and so what that means for the Snyder Verse, I mean, you could probably put 2 and 2 together, but this first look deal, he's gonna be producing and creating multiple movies. They announced obviously Army of the Dead sequel. They announced Rebel Moon. They announced Army of Thieves, which is coming out soon. They're gonna announce a whole bunch of stuff that's going to be happening with Zack and Netflix. But Umar, for you, I want to say like this is good for Zack because he finally has somewhere where he has creative control. But what do you think this means for your favorite nightmare sequence?
It means it's dead in the water, and so that's kind of sad. But it'll be cool to see what he does in other spaces. I think he's gonna play a long game, anyways. I do think that. He's at his best when it's like the comic book space, and so I think that even though that's a vast thing, obviously the IP with like the DC characters, I think his heart is still kind of like there, and so I think he's playing a long game. I think in 2 years' time, he could, in theory, go back and do something if there's different people involved at Warner Brothers, like different kind of things going on, and so. It's a long game for him. I don't think he's ever really going to get away from that. And I don't think that, like, we're all completely honest, like, I think he wants to tell his story regardless of who actually ends up playing those characters. So, like, if Henry Cavill's not around in 2 years, then I don't think he's going to care. Like, if he can recast and continue right from where he left off, I think he'd be okay with that. It's just a matter of, like, on that front, I think people should just kind of let that go because you just don't know for now. And enjoy what comes out in the meantime. But as far as like his new things and his new projects, he's an amazing director. So I want to see what he does in these other spaces we've seen with Army of the Dead, a little bit of that. So
yeah, I'll give you guys what's called best case scenario, right? His like Umar mentioned, I appreciate you giving that detail. This first look deal is actually only for 2 years, but it's gonna likely be extended. But for now, it's a 2-year deal. In that time, he's gonna be obviously going crazy. He's creating a lot of original properties, which is I think any director's dream really, to be given a boatload of money, open blank check, and say create whatever you can think of from your head, right? So he's gonna be creating brand new projects. We know obviously with Rebel Moon, you're talking about a brand new like sci-fi female-led movie. With Army of the Dead, which Netflix reported just last week was their most popular film this year. That released on that platform. So you have multiple spin-offs, an animated series, a spin-off movie, and a direct sequel. So that's the whole universe being built now, the Army of the Dead universe. And then Rebel Moon might become its own thing. And he's working on an anime with Jay Oliva, right? So multiple things are being created, right, at Netflix. So he's gonna be pretty busy these next few years. But now let me give you what the best case scenario for Justice League is. So right now, no one at Warner Brothers. What happened to me? What happened? Now I have to stop. What happened?
I don't know why this guy's laughing, but forget it. Yeah, you keep on.
Samir, what? Share the joke with the classroom.
Go on, just go, keep going, Sean.
No.
Nah, share the joke with the
I
classroom.
know what it is. I know what it is, but this is something we'll have to discuss later. off record.
My screen. That's the main thing.
No, it's nothing like that.
All right.
I just keep going.
All right, but why two people are not on camera? It's weird. Why don't you come back on camera?
Can't, dude. It's like gonna like.
Just try, bro. Try for us. It's okay, fine. Finally, you're back. All right, so I'm gonna give you the best case scenario for justice for the Snyderverse. Okay, right now, no one at Warner Brothers top echelon of people are interested in any. Umar's gone. It's fine. This guy doesn't want to stay on
Just
camera.
go, just keep talking.
All right, I'll keep talking. We got to fill 15 minutes anyways. All right. So right now, Walter Hamada, Toby Emmerich, Ann Sarnoff, you name it, none of them want anything to do with Zack Snyder. They literally ghosted this man the second the movie came out. They haven't said one word to him, right? He doesn't even know how the movie did, right? So obviously they want nothing to do with Zack or that movie, right? Or that franchise anymore. That's number one. So Zack, being someone smart, he knows he's going to go where someone's going to be paying him millions of dollars to create whatever he wants and not go through hell every single day with Warner Brothers, right? So he goes to Netflix, he creates his own thing. Warner Brothers right now is doing everything they can, as we see like right in front of our faces with every casting and movie announcement, to get away from what Man of Steel, BVS, and Justice League were trying to do. To the point where I think both Justice League movies are going to be taken out of canon, even the Joss Whedon version. Okay, so all that being said, what is the road to coming back? The road number one is Discovery taking over. Now, Discovery takes over. The guy who runs it escapes me his name, but let's say he takes over, right? And he's not, number one, going to start getting rid of people because they're incompetent. That's not why he's going to do it. Because, frankly, there's nothing to be shown that's incompetent. It's to the eye of whoever's like creating the business, right? He's going to look at everyone. He's going to make two choices. Either he's going to say, all this is already set. Let me keep it as it is and just keep running from above, because Discovery is going to be above Warner Brothers, right? So they're going to just, he could do that, right? If that happens, it's not happening like anytime soon. There's no Justice League 2. Now, his alternate thing he can do is he could be like, I want fresh people all over Warner Brothers. So he's going to say, Toby Emmerich, you're out. I'm going to give someone else, one of my people in this place. And then Ann Sarnoff, you're out. I'm going to put someone else here. And then Hamada is the least likely because he's never mentioned in the reports. But let's say he wanted a new person to run DC. He would do that. Only under all of these scenarios will then an opening come. Now it's about who comes in. Whoever comes into that chair also has to be like, let me go back to now. It would have been maybe 4 years after Zack Snyder Justice League came out and be like, let me continue that universe. As you can tell, there's a lot of ifs in that story. If this happens, if that happens, then finally.
And that's not even talking about or counting the actors themselves. Like, you have to get all of them back this many years later. Who knows? They have other commitments, other projects going on. It's not going to be as simple as people make it that you can just, let's bring the entire band together and do it again. And also it's not even just about the leadership. If they wanted to, like Discovery takes over, they can look at the numbers themselves. If the numbers to them feel like, oh yeah, maybe this is something we should have gone forward with, that's also a possibility to maybe escalate the Snyderverse continuing just based on the performance of Zack Snyder's Justice League, which obviously nobody knows how it did because Rob was high numbers for whatever reason.
I think Umar made a really good point that Zack probably doesn't care at that point. Like, if he does get an opportunity 5 to 10 years later and says make Justice League 2, I don't think he's going to want to cast Henry and Gall and these people back when I think Gall's going to be out of here by Wonder Woman 3, if Wonder Woman 3 even happens, because last time I asked Patty Jenkins, I think she said that she wants to do after, like, who knows what. Like, she wants to create the Star Wars movie, then she wants to create, I think, the Cleopatra movie, and then after those two movies, she'll think about Wonder Woman 3. So that's maybe 5 to 7 years from now. So she might, even Gall might age out or not want to be Wonder Woman anymore. And then Jason will probably see, Ezra will see, Ben Affleck, this is his swan song in The Flash. He's not going to have much of a role after this, if any. Henry Cavill, let's be honest, there's like 50 Superman movies and none of them are with Henry Cavill. So he's out. So who's left, right? And of course, people like Ray would come back and do it. But even, in that scenario, I would think Zack would want to bring who he can back. Like he'd probably bring Ray and Jason and Ezra and then recast the Trinity and then try making a continuation. But again, it's so many ifs that realistically it's hard to see like this is a pathway when at the same time you see that Zack is being given blank checks to create his own universes and original characters, which is any director's dream to just be able to do that. And as long as Netflix is kind of treating him with creative integrity and let him make the projects he wants, and those projects are successful, then he has no reason to go somewhere where someone hates him, right? And I think all of us would be in that position, even in our lives or our employment opportunities. If we would, none of us would go work somewhere where the people who are working under are cursing us under their breath behind my back, right? No one would want that environment. So I don't see why he would ever want to go back and make that just to see Superman fight Batman one more time. Like I don't think that's gonna be worth it for him when he can create Rebel Moon and he can create Army of the Dead and create other projects like Horse Latitudes and things of that nature, like other smaller projects. I think that's the way to go at that point, and yeah, so it's gonna be interesting to see. I mean, Cisco said that I'm pretty sure most actors would be glad to work with Zack again. He's so humble, but whenever they have time is different. Yeah, I mean, I think on paper, I don't know which one of you guys said that Zack that they would probably want to come back, just because they're his friends. But I also same time think that if a certain amount of time passes and they age out of the roles, I don't think they're going to be coming back for these big budget kind of movies. But I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens for the Suicide Squad. Yeah. We'll probably get to that in a solo video in a couple of weeks from now. And it's any different Horse Latitude is going to production, who's going to distribute it. There's no news on actually who's distributing this one. I think since he has a first look with Netflix, he can pitch it to them first, and they have first chance to accept it before any other studio would take a crack at it. But this is obviously one of his kind of like micro budget like personal movies that he's doing. That's going to be like, might be one of his best movies, honestly. I actually want to see him go with a no CGI, no VFX, like drama movie, and see if he can go crazy with it and potentially campaign for the Academy Awards. Like put your hat in for that. I think Horse Latitude is one of the few projects that actually might be like in that realm, whereas everything else is going to be your standard zombie movie, sci-fi movie, superhero movie. That's more for general consumption, but we know like it's not going to get much like critic or anything like that appeal. I don't know, Umar, you have any thoughts on this one other than what I said?
No, you pretty much said everything. Like every
I feel like I've been talking.
Umar, why don't you tell us what he said? Why don't you summarize what he said?
Because we don't know if just open your camera, Umar. That's it. 5 minutes.
Never.
You have to. You're fine. Your internet's fine. Just stay on it. All right. We like your pink hoodie. Don't worry. All right. It's 5 minutes left, so it's time to do the funny question of the day. But I'm gonna do yeah. So my guy said never. It's not. I think the one comment said, I think Justice League fans just got to keep being loud and hope for the best. Crazy gonna happen, and that's why I think that I'm not saying that fans should just like relax and give up on that. They just keep talking, keep asking for it, and you never know what might happen. But I think for the next 2 years, it's a safe bet that Zack's gonna be working on all these other projects first, and we gotta wait for the Discovery merger to actually happen and see who's the next people in line, if any. But it's time for that funny question of the day, and I never had that many good ones because I had to pick final myself. So this time, it's a question about if you could pick one dog to have as a companion, right? Which of these cartoon dogs would you?
Why'd you take off that banner?
Which of these cartoon dogs would you choose to be like your friend or whatever? Like which is the one? So we have Scoopy, we got Clifford, we got Brian, we got Courage. We got Snoopy. We got Pluto. I don't know the gray one. He's from Jetsons. And then we have this other Looney Tunes version. I forgot his name also. Then Goofy, and then we have Lady and the Tramp, right? So, Umar, you already said it for me asking you, but you prefer Scooby Doo as your like friend?
Yes, sir.
Why? That's right. You didn't think the why would come, but it's here. Why?
I don't really know, to be honest. I'm not really into. I don't know half these characters. I don't know half these characters. So,
I mean, you know Clifford the Big Red Dog, right? Because that's literally you.
well, that's that. You're like that for me. So,
All right. So then why don't you choose Clifford?
because Samir's more like Scooby, and I pick Samir over you.
Wow. All right. So, Samir, which one is your choice, bro?
For
We
me,
have two Cliffords.
Umar already plays the role of Goofy for me. So I guess I'll go with that.
That's messed up. I said something nice, and he's like, "Oh, you Superman's Goofy." Weird man. What a weird guy.
I'd also go with Scooby. Maybe Courage.
So, all right. So, but you had to pick one. So, Scooby or Courage or Goofy. You said Umar's Goofy, which I agree. So, but what? So we have one Goofy in the group. That's true. But what is the dog that you want as like your friend, bro?
So you know what? I'm just gonna go with Pluto. That's right.
You know, it's a very wholesome choice. I'll give you that. Very wholesome. All right, Zion, which one is your choice?
Yeah, Pluto's okay. Pluto's not that great. That was a bad choice. No offense. Scooby, yeah, I guess Scooby. The appeal of Scooby is like a good like friend and companion. But the realest one here is Courage. And like, if you watch the show, he'll literally go through like crazy lengths, fight monsters, and go to like dangerous places just to save you. Like, that's like a real like companion. Like, Courage will do whatever to keep you safe and save you from monsters and other crazy people. So like, that's the one I would definitely go with.
Are you planning to encounter many monsters? Because if you aren't, then he's not really worth it. You know, like, that's all I'm saying. And if you were afraid of, like, if you were under constant danger, I would pick Clifford because he would defend you and know what monster would fight.
Clifford is the monster.
We have Snoopy, which is actually when I was gonna go with mine. I was gonna say that Snoopy is like an underrated choice. Like, he's like a nice dog, you know. Like what has Snoopy ever done hurt anybody? Think about it. But yeah, Snoopy or Scooby. All right, now I'm gonna go philosophical on you, right? I'm gonna go into Greek philosophy right now. All right, listen.
Go ahead.
Scooby, Goofy, Brian, and Courage can talk. The rest can't, right? I wouldn't choose Brian. That's like the worst option. But
Clifford, he can't talk, but he can talk also. You know, he can't interact with humans, but he can talk. He knows what they're saying to him.
I'm saying who's talking to the human. Okay? So
All I have to say is Martha was snubbed from this list. I know it's like Sean's
you mean Martha speaks?
Yeah.
Nah, Martha's the worst one of the group. I'll be roasting if it showed up.
Your favorite like theme song to any show ever?
Don't make me sing you the theme song. All right, I see it's a 136 IQ choice. All right, listen. All right, Scooby would be the most fun to like on a daily communicate with because he's like a good friend. Like, he wants to eat food. He's like chilling. You know, he's a whole vibe, bro. Like he would vibe with you. You know. I feel like Courage is like a nice dog, like a sweet dog, but like I don't know, it's nothing too crazy there. As a car honking.
I don't want any of them.
Because
they don't want you either.
Because you're Goofy. All right, listen.
Someone's afraid of the dogs.
I got my 3.
That's true. Either way, my choice in the end, because Samir picked Pluto, Umar picked Scooby, Zion picked Courage, so I'll pick Snoopy, and so we all get someone different. I think that's the only way. But we all also agree, Umar, you are Goofy, so yeah. All right, we're
what
1 minute.
What is it? Pick on Umar Day today? What's wrong?
No, I fine. To end it because we're already losing everyone, anyways. Okay. Tell me, we each have to be one of the dogs. So which dog we chose to be? Yeah.
Just because you're Clifford and Umar's Goofy, why do me and Dion have to be one of them?
I'll tell you right now, okay? If I'm Clifford, right?
I'm the guy underneath Brian, or Dion's the guy underneath Brian.
Dude, I am Brian. Nah, I'll be Scooby.
You'll be Scooby? Okay, so I'm gonna be either Clifford or Brian, depending. But I'm probably Clifford the big red dog, and Umar's Goofy, the big goofy dog. And then Samir, you're probably the guy with the orange hair.
Samir's Brian, bro.
What?
Yeah, Samir, you could also be Brian. Yeah,
Goofy doesn't really count because Goofy's basically like human. He's not a pet. He's not a pet in his universe, and he won't be in the universe. The other ones are pets.
Goofy's an intellectual, fam.
He's a humanoid dog, bro.
I mean, for the sake of Kingdom Hearts, I mean, Goofy is pretty good, but other than that, no. All right, we lost everybody, and there's no point even.
Goofy and Pluto exist in the same universe. They're both dogs.
Wait. Isn't Aslan the lion from Narnia? It's not
Aslan.
He's a lion.
Aslan's a lion, yeah, straight up.
Didn't they kill him or something? Like he was on some like.
Oh, they killed him, but he came back. Don't worry.
Okay.
You're spoiling Narnia for me. I don't remember that part of Narnia. When did he die? The third movie?
Like the first, the second one.
Oh, like they stabbed him or
It was the
something,
first
right?
one. It was the first one.
It was the first one, right? Where they're taking off his hair. It was like the weirdest like scene ever.
Yeah.
And what happened?
They killed him, Shraz, and then he came back.
And then he came back like Superman,
Like
like Gandalf. Palpatine.
No, he came back more like Palpatine. Like he just showed up, right? Right, Samir? There was no explanation. He just pulled up. Of course, Samir's not gonna answer.
What?
Is that Benil? Who's that?
Yeah, it was Benil.
No. I think it's time to end this.
Yeah. Umar's Goofy. Goofy was wearing white makeup and a red nose. Oh my God, you don't know Narnia. I don't. Zion maybe does.
Narnia's so good.
I don't know Narnia.
It's so
I
good.
say we both don't, but Samir knows it very well. And Umar maybe knows it.
Narnia was whatever.
Or loved Narnia.
Those are fighting words. Yeah, you love Narnia. Stop capping, bro. It was your favorite.
I ain't capping.
All right, we're out of here. All right, so, yeah. All right, so yeah, we'll come back next week. I have no outro today, so I'll just end with a funny clip. Do I have a funny clip that's like really funny, or like let me see what I have here. What's this?
I have news for you. I am sorry to inform you these championship rings should be made of cubic zirconia.
It's not even funny. You should have put the one where they're talking about the Dark Knight.
Wait, oh no, I don't have that in the thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't have the Dark Knight one. I have this one too.
I'm gonna shout out one of my uncles, Nadine. You hear him laughing at the other one.
Okay, bet.
I'm not worried. You shouldn't be worried.
Of course Woody ain't worried. He's been Andy's favorite since kindergarten.
Hey, come on, Potato Head. If Woody says it's all right, then, well, darn it, it's good enough for me. Woody has never steered us wrong before.
Come on, guys. Every Christmas and birthday we go through.
All right, so it's obvious that Samir is Slinky, Shraz Woody, I'm Mr. Potato Head, and Umar's the spell guy.
Mr. Spells.
Mr. Spell.
I'm okay with being Woody. He's the goated character. All right, we're running over time.
Yeah, and that's definitely gonna get copyrighted. So thank you for doing that.
All right, yeah, there's less than 30 seconds. All right, from myself, from Zion, from Umar, and from Samir, we're the Farooqi Bros. We'll see you next time. Peace out.